Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showcasing every single hero in the new Valve game, DeadLock. I was given the opportunity to play this game, obviously in its testing phase, and I wanted to make a video showcasing all of the heroes. Yeah, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to do that because there's not really much content on this game, and honestly, I might as well jump at the opportunity, you know. DeadLock, if for those wondering, is a MOBA shooter game very similar to Smite. TF2, Overwatch, stuff like that, it's also very similar to League of Legends as well. Very, in that style. There's lanes, you can get upgrades, stuff like that. The different heroes you can pick, a lot of fun, different abilities, different classes. But in this video, I'm just gonna do a small little showcase for each hero, show you guys what they do, and then try to explain it here and there. Maybe give some tips and tricks, who knows, for the heroes that I have played, and then, all right then. Let's get right into it. The first hero we have here is named Abrams. He's a close-range fighter, brawler type character who's able to 1v1 multiple people at a time. He sports a shotgun pistol, which has significant fall-off damage at farther ranges, but it isn't too shabby when aimed down sights with, and so on and so forth. His abilities help him in his up-close combat, as he is a kind of like a dive character. He can pick off stragglers or stuff like that. His number one ability will do this little sphere around him, and anything in this circle will get its life drained and will die slowly. Turn on no cooldown. It does moderate damage, not the greatest damage at level 1, but it does heal him for the damage the damage it deals. So it's pretty good. It's really powerful because it can keep him alive in the end game when he gets a bunch of upgrades. Yeah, so it's very, very good, one of his strongest tools, and one of the scariest characters to 1v1 in this game because a good Abrams won't get killed by pretty much anyone. His number 2 ability, it does a run, and the run will stun people if they are hit into a wall. If he hits you with it, he will take you with him wherever he goes, so he can actually take a target from a certain area and put them into a worse spot, or take them into a better spot for Abrams to kill him, and so on and so forth. And Abrams' third ability is Infernal Resistance. This is a passive ability that is not active. Regenerate a portion of incoming damage over time. This only helps him in his endeavor in staying alive, and makes him even more tanky. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. And then his ultimate ability, leap high into the air and choose a ground location to crash into. When you hit the ground, all enemies in the radius are damaged and stunned. This is really good for picking off people who are low health and running back to spawn. All you have to do is go up, and then you could choose wherever you want to go, crash down. They take 150 damage, they get stunned, and this usually leads into you killing them, or almost killing them, or, your teammate helps you follow up, or whatever, what have you. It's a very scary ability for anyone to go up against, because getting stunned in this game usually means that you're about to die or be killed. Abrams is a very fun and very simple character to play. If you're new to the game, or just got into it, and you're looking for a fun little character to run around with and get some kills, this is the character to play. But I do recommend that you get a friend to help you, because this character does struggle on his own. If he has friends, he is an absolute monster, but without friends, he's pretty mediocre. But yeah, guys, that was Abrams. Gonna move on to the next hero. The next hero we have here is Bebop, a very fan favorite character with a very, very powerful weapon and amazing builds. British robot guy made out of junk, pretty fucking cool, not gonna lie. He's also Bebop is another close-range character with 4 abilities just like the last one, but his are a little bit more different. His first ability is an exploding uppercut. Deal light melee damage to nearby units and send them flying back, causing area damage where they land. Does not damage allies. So yes, you can hit your allies with this ability, and it's pretty cool. Like this. And as you see there, it will damage anyone who gets hit by that radius, but won't damage your teammate, making this actually a tool to where you can get your teammate that's low health out of the way, and then take over for their fight, just in case they're on low in health. You can, yeah, it's pretty good. When you do this, if you upgrade the ability, it will become more powerful and even buff Bebop. But I'm talking about the level 1 abilities and with no upgrades. So, yeah. His number 2 ability, attach a sticky bomb to a nearby target that deals explosive damage after a short fuse time. Gain 2.5% bomb damage every hero hit. You can cast sticky bomb on yourself using M3. So, Sticky Bomb is a very simple tool. You just do this, and then boom, 143 damage. This is a very scary thing in the early game because anyone who gets hit by this will probably end up getting killed by the Bebop, because doing 143 damage when most heroes at the start only have 600 health and cannot heal, yeah, no, you definitely don't want to get hit by this. The damage that stacks up on this is permanent and will last for the rest of the game, and it's pretty impressive, so definitely something to keep note of. And then Bebop's most popular skill, the hook. Launch out a hook that grabs and reels in the first enemy or friendly hero it hits, dealing damage if the target is an enemy, will be placed where you are facing. Now, this is very similar to Roadhog's hook, which is most popular. But unlike Roadhog's hook, you can actually hook your teammates and bring them into a better spot. It can save your teammate, especially if you notice that they're overextending and you're not able to catch up to them and you want them to be put into a better position. This ability can obviously be used to troll people, and that's fine. If you want to troll people, it's whatever. But most of the time, it will genuinely help out your teammates. I've been saved quite a bit from my friend who plays Bebop, and even trolled a little bit by my friend who plays Bebop. But you can actually do a combo on your friend. Most people, what they do with Bebop is they get the hook, they use their bomb, then they knock their teammate away or the enemy away. They take a bunch of damage, and they're usually ready for a lineup, and you can shoot them to death and finish them off. So yeah, his abilities, they all combo together. They're very fun, very popular abilities to use for people. I recommend this character if you are new to the game. He's pretty simple to understand and is not that complicated. But again, just like Abrams, I recommend you have a friend with you because he is so much better when you have a teammate. Now, for his final move, his ultimate. Charge up your laser, unleash a powerful torrent of energy that deals damage, slows enemies' movement, and dashes. You also have slow movement speed, and turn rate for the duration. If activated in the air, you will hover, unleashing the beam. This ability is, I'm not even gonna lie with you guys, pretty bad. My friend, even the builds that are centered around it aren't very good. Obviously, if you are at the start of the game, and this is what you have for damage, it's not, the worst thing ever, but when you get into the later game, a lot of people become more powerful and will deal more damage to you as they level up. So being able to not really move all that well, as you can see here, it's not very helpful and will probably end up getting you killed. What I recommend you use this for is two things. Sightline clear, so if someone is peeking a sightline like this and there's like a objective that you have to destroy behind them, if you do this, you can kill minions, destroy guardians, or anything like that, and it'll deter them from peeking you because they will take a significant amount of damage if they do decide to peek you. So it's not too bad at all, really. This character is very well rounded, a really decent character overall. He has really good gun builds, he's got good abilities, he's got pretty much everything going for him except for healing and sustainability. So yeah, guys, that's Bebop, a really fun character. Definitely recommend trying him out. Next hero we have here is Dynamo. Really cool, very fan favorite character. I've noticed a lot of people like to play Dynamo, especially newer players, because he seems very simple. He is a support character that can save your team and heal them, while also being a pretty solid diver character because he can save himself. So, getting on with his abilities. Release a pulse of energy that knocks back up enemies into the air. Actually not half bad. It's a decent ability. Does about 100 damage and does stun them, as you can see there. Stuns them for just a second, and they can't move for a little bit. So you can actually use this to CC or stun lock a target and get a kill off of them with your friend or teammate. This is one of the few heroes that another one of the few heroes that I will say that you definitely 100% want to be playing with your friend, because he by himself is not really able to secure that many kills because his gun is not very strong and does not really deal that damage that you need it to do. His abilities also don't really help him in combat all that much, since most other heroes in this game can, well, kill you much faster and just easier. His number 2 ability. Dynamo briefly disappears into the void and reappears a short distance away. On reappearing, your weapon is reloaded and has a fire rate bonus for the next clip. Can be cast with M3 or middle mouse button to also bring nearby allies and give them half the fire rate bonus. This is an ability that will save you from all damage types, CCs, and even ultimates. So definitely recommend using this with your friends. So if you guys want to dive together, diving, by the way, for those who don't know, is when you kind of play flank, go through a flank and you sneak up and jump on top of people and try to kill them really fast without them really being able to react or get away. That is what we call as diving. So if you get into a bad spot, you can pull this out, press M3, and you become invincible for a bit, and it is really good. And then You shoot faster, your teammate will shoot faster, and then next thing you know, you guys kill whoever the heck you're trying to kill, and it's pretty good overall. And for his third ability, while channeling, restore health over time and to you and any allies nearby. So this is just their common healing sphere ability. As you can see here, pretty good, pretty good. It keeps your teammate alive, especially if an Abrams on your team. If you use this with an Abrams, you will see that he probably won't ever actually get killed by anything. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Honestly, I don't hate this character overall. He's pretty fucking good. And for his ultimate, create a singularity in your hands that pulls in enemies and damages them. Once it's finished, enemies get knocked into the air.
Opening black hole.
So, that's his ultimate ability. It isn't, you know, the best ability ever, but it does stop people and stun them in place where they cannot move anymore. So that is very good for finishing off targets who are a bit slippery, or someone who is much stronger than you are because they've been fed by your other teammate and you need to finish them off quickly. This is a very annoying ult to play against, but it makes sense. It is a very good ult for your team. As you can clearly tell, this character is 100% support based. I definitely recommend playing him that way. You don't have to, because there are builds in this game and items you can buy to make your character even more powerful. So if you don't want to play with your friends, but you like the character's idea, go nuts, man. But yeah, no, definitely a well-rounded character. He has his uses. Honestly, I would say that if you're playing in a 5-stack, having a Dynamo probably would be one of the most useful characters to have on the team. But overall, I think he's up there in the higher tiers of characters. If we're going to put it in a tier list term, great character overall. And up next, guys, we have Great Talent. A long-range, projectile-based character. Very popular recently because he has very decent combat capabilities and solid damage output. Solid gun as well, as you can see. Does pretty good damage. And it has very low fall-off. Consistent damage. Solid overall. Yeah, let's go ahead and get on to his abilities. We have a charged shot. Charge up a powerful shot that pierces through enemies. Hold 1 or left mouse to hold the shot. So you can hold it in for as long as you need. And we let it go. Bang. Big damage. It's not too bad. It's pretty good for the early game, especially if you just need to deal consistent damage to whoever the heck you're trying to attack. Definitely recommend it when you start out as your first ability, because it's pretty good. But yeah, it's a decent ability. It's very simple. There's really not much to it. But hey, it's free damage. Super easy to use. Simple to get use out of. Decent overall. For his second one, Rain of Arrows. Launches you high into the air, allowing you to glide slowly while airborne. When you gain weapon damage and multi-shot on your weapon. Press space to cancel the glide.
If I stay on the ground, I'm dead.
But yeah, this one keeps you in the air for a while, and it does this with your bullets. It makes them much easier to hit, but they all do less damage as a result because you are farther away and due to damage fall off. You can also use this to get away and get up to higher position and, bang, 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 hit your shots very easily. So as you can tell, this character is supposed to be range-based because you can get up to higher places, put yourself in better positions, and overall make your life a little bit easier, as you can see. Now onto his third ability. Throw out a trap that begins to arm itself. Once armed, the trap will trigger and the enemy in its radius will immobilize them. So this is a very solid CC option for whenever you're trying to finish somebody off, because this character has a very high damage output, especially when you get upgrades on them. So if you wanted to stop someone who's a bit slippery, like a Dynamo or another, Great Talent or whatever, you could throw this out like so. Oh, that was a sound if I've ever heard it. Try that again. As you can see there, he's immobilized, can't move, so yep. Oh well. I'll fall. There we go. And right there, I've already done 200 damage to him. So yeah, it's definitely a really useful tool. This character is very simple. There's really not much to her, or I say her, not much to him. Very standard, long-range character. Kind of boring, honestly. Not really my favorite character. But they have their use, and if you're more precise than other players are, then this character might just be for you, It works out that way. You like these kinds of characters, I recommend it, but I wouldn't put her anywhere special personally, but hey, you like them, you like them. Moving on to the ultimate ability. After 1.5 seconds cast time, launch a spirit owl that you control and and which explodes on impact, damaging and stunning enemies. Hold left click to accelerate the owl. Press space to release control. Gain permanent spirit power for each enemy hero killed with the guided owl. This is a very, very good ability because you can actually, obviously, control the owl of where it goes. And this can end up getting you kills of people that are farther away or you can't find them. And you can accelerate the owl and then it does more damage. 250 damage. So yeah, you can do a lot with this ability. It's really not bad at all because you can, you know, go over here and then you can even come back around. So yeah, it's pretty aggressive on the tracking. It's a bit OP at times because it feels kind of unfair to go against because you will be getting trying to escape and you'll be on low health, and then next thing you know, this owl comes out of nowhere, deals 250 damage to you, and you couldn't really react to it. It is definitely one of the more unfair characters to play against because sorry. This is definitely one of the more unfair characters to play against because of the immobilization that they have, the ultimate that they have, and the fact that they can deal significant amounts of damage, get away, even, you know, get you out of your cover. It's a very obnoxious character to go against, and they're very powerful at the moment. So I definitely recommend them if you're trying to pub stomp against other players or just play well. So yeah, that was great talent. Next character we have here is called Haze. Very cool character, very solid fighter character. She's very squishy though. So I definitely recommend you try to play her a little bit more reserved. Her guns are pretty good. They deal solid DPS and are pretty good up close. I recommend it. She's a, I would say kind of like a diver kind of character, but I'm not sure about the terminology yet. I have not played that many MOBAs personally. But yeah, getting on with your abilities. Throw a dagger that damages and sleeps the target. Sleeping targets wake up shortly after being damaged. Throwing a dagger does not break your invisibility. Sleep dagger does not interrupt enemies' channeling abilities. Yep, so makes sense. So it's just your common stun kind of item, as you can see there. They go to sleep for quite a while, and you can escape, do whatever, attack them. It can be used to turn the tide of a battle. It can be used to help out your teammates if they need to be helped. But it does require a bit of precision because you can, you know, miss your dagger. As you can see, the hitbox is decently generous, but you know, depends on how the game feels. But yeah, really simple ability, really nothing special about it. It's your standard like crowd control kind of, you know, stun ability, just like honest sleep dart from Overwatch. It's whatever, nothing special, but still very powerful. Smoke bomb for his second ability. Fade out of sight, becoming invisible, gaining sprint speed. Attacking removes the invisibility. Close enemies can see through your invisibility. So yeah, this is a get out of jail kind of card. So if you don't want to be seen by somebody, you can also throw your sleep dart, as you saw there. And the closer you get to them, the more likely they are to see you. So you can definitely use this to dive or catch people off guard. So it's a pretty decent ability, and honestly makes her actually really fun to play because you could do a lot of sneaky things. You know, coming around a corner, or your friend tells you, hey man, you know, that person's low on health, tosses a sleep dart at them, and then you can get real close to them and try to finish them off. And for her third ability, which is a passive, called Fixation. Shooting a target increases your bullet damage on that target. Gain 1 stack per bullet hit, 2 if the target is hit with a headshot. So yes, this means that you will continually do more consistent damage the more you attack a target, as you can see there. Pretty good overall. It's very powerful actually if you are very good at hitting your shots. I'm at level 0 with no upgrades and only with that one ability, and I do 300 damage per, or 413 damage per magazine. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's a very simple to understand. And for her ultimate attack, enter a flurry, firing your weapon at nearby enemies with perfect accuracy. During the flurry, Haze gains a fire rate bonus and will evade some bullets that are shot at her. This ability is very good for getting out of jail for free. If you are caught with your pants down or low health, if you pop this ability, the only thing that really can hit you is spirit damage based abilities. So other players' abilities can hit you during this, but their bullets really can't hit you all that much because she will evade. So if you are in a bad spot or need to just kind of try to get out some damage before you die, you can easily use this. Try to sleep dart, do whatever, blast them a bit. You know, it's a pretty solid ability. Obviously, it has an AoE, as you can see. Anything within this AoE will take the damage. And it can be used to kill multiple targets if they're all low. Pretty solid character overall. Stealthy kind of character if you're into that. And the next hero we have here is called Infernus. This is one of my favorite heroes. I've been playing him quite a bit. He's a fire-based character. His weapon is pretty cool. It'll deal fire damage to people. Pretty cool. Up for his abilities. First ability, Catalyst. Spew napalm that slows enemies' movement speed and amplifies the damage Infernus does to them. It's a pretty decent ability. It does have a limited range though, so it doesn't, go all that far. As you can see there, I don't hit him from where I'm standing. So I would need to get about right here, and then I'd have to shoot him a bit. So yeah, it does damage. It does about 50 damage-ish. 65 damage-ish. Yeah, it's mediocre at best. It's not the best ability. It's not the first ability I choose on him when I am starting out. But hey, it does its job. It's damage amplification. It gives you what you need. His second ability, honestly, probably his best ability and one of the strongest abilities in the game. Flame Dash, moved forward at high speed, leave a flame trail that burns enemies. So, if you hold left click, you'll do a speed boost, and this could get you out of rough situations. Or you can use it to get people out of cover, because you can run up to them and then run back, so on, so forth. It does pretty good damage. Most people will, if you're getting chased, it's a really good deterrent for that, because anyone who walks into it will take fire damage and take significant amounts of damage over time, or damage in general. So yeah, definitely not worth walking into if you're on the enemy team. And there's an Infernus, so yeah, be careful, look out for that ability. It is also amplified through duration, so you can actually run longer. So you can actually go really far with it. And the more trail you have on the ground, the more likely you are to hurt or attack or kill somebody. Now on for his strongest ability definitely is Afterburn. Your bullets build up to apply a burning effect on enemies. Infernus's bullets and abilities will refresh during the duration. So yeah, this is actually a really strong ability, because if you shoot them enough, that right there is the timer, and it will take them for 47 damage. It's not bad. It is very powerful, especially in the early game, because people are scared of it. Because, yeah, if they're trying to, get out of the way or run away, but you deal all this damage to them and you get them to take fire damage over time, they're more likely to get killed if they're at low health, and so on and so forth. This is also amplified with spirit damage, so if you increase your spirit damage, the damage over time will be significantly more, and can even be up into the hundreds if you build your character correctly. Yeah, it's very powerful, very strong. If you're playing Infernus, make sure you always choose this ability first, because you pretty much can never go wrong with it. Moving on to his ultimate, turn you into a living bomb that explodes after a short delay, stunning all enemies in its radius. So it's just another standard AoE kind of ability that can help you get out of a bad spot. So once this timer goes down, anything in this radius will blow up, take a decent amount of damage, and will be stunned. Doing 160 damage, you can even use this using your dash ability. So if you pop it and then do this, you can run into people and flame dash into them, and look at that, they take a bunch of damage. That is at level 0, that's 380 damage. It's pretty freaking good overall. Honestly, this character, if you are brand new to the game, I 100% recommend this being the first character you play. He's good in combat, he's good as a helper, good as a support, good as whatever you need him to be. Very solid character overall. You cannot go wrong with picking this character. The next hero we have here is Ivy. He's supposed to be a semi-support character / damage character. She's not bad at all. Pretty good character. I don't see many people play her. A lot of new players like playing her. So, yeah, cool character. Her gun shoots very fast, and that is very desirable for newer players. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And on to her abilities. Her first ability, Kudzu Bomb. Summon a patch of choking vines that damage and slows enemies in the radius. Pretty cool. It's kind of like an AoE ability for when people are kind of hiding behind cover. So if someone is about like right there, you could throw it there and you could get them out of cover and even come over, attack them a little bit, and then back up. Pretty scary to go up against. It's a simple ability, but it sure is effective. On to our next ability, Watcher's Covenant. Gain bonuses and automatically connect with a nearby ally to share them. Wait, what? Gain bonuses and automatically connect with a nearby ally to share them. What is this? Is this broken English? What am I reading? To share them. Healing is replicated among all those connected. Connection requires a line of sight. Press 2 to lock onto a target. So this is kind of like a, you know, a little ability, and you can it'll give them like extra healing, damage, and even give them fire rate bonuses as well. You'll share all of your healing with them, which is pretty powerful if you have a person with you that is strong, like an Abrams, Dynamo, or Infernus, Bebop, Kelvin, anything like that. Very strong character, because then, you know, it will make your teammate want to be around you more often. It keeps them alive. It keeps you alive. Yeah, pretty powerful, you know, ability overall. But it's not really ability you'd probably pick at the start if you don't have a friend with you. And on to our third ability, Stone Form. Turn yourself into impervious Turn yourself into impervious stone and smash into the ground, stunning and damaging enemies nearby. Heals you for a percentage of your max health. You have some air control before you fall.
I got this.
As you can see there,
Necesitas mucho más que eso para matarme.
turns you into stone. You can't take any damage. Anyone that's hit by it will take damage. And the heal it does, it's going to half health.
¿Creen que están ganando?
From half health, brings you up to 330. Not too bad. It's not too bad of an ability. It's a pretty solid get out of jail free card. It also gives you free damage without needing to, you know, take any risk. It also keeps you alive for just a little bit longer if you needed to, or even get you away from an ultimate if you time it correctly. So yeah, it's a solid ability. Definitely pretty good. And then on to our ultimate, airdrop. Take flight with an ally or a bomb. Ally gains bullet resist while flying. Drop your ally or bomb to cause a large explosion that causes movement slow. Ivy and ally gain a bullet shield when flying ends. Fast cast time when targeting an ally. Long on self. So I would like to just say this real quick. A lot of the abilities descriptions are kind of in broken English because the people that are writing them are still testing the game. So please excuse that. I do apologize for me kind of stuttering a lot. But yeah, no. So, you can select an ally, apparently, bring them with you, and then you can drop your ally, and then get away, and then if I'm not mistaken, you can go ahead and get out of it, and they'll deal damage when they land. It'll give you, as you can see, I have the little shields around me, means I have better resistance. And if you cast on yourself, you can drop a bomb. It's pretty good. You can also get away with this as well. And make sure that you don't die. Yeah, definitely a really simple ultimate. It's not very powerful in terms of killing anybody. Like I doubt you're gonna kill a single person with this. It's more to get you and an ally out of a very tough spot. So, you know, you can speed up and then put your ally onto a better position, like right over there. And then if I wanted to head back and help out my other teammate, I can do that. So yeah, she's very obviously a support character, so obviously you want to play her that way. Her gun is very powerful and can actually, like, you can actually do a gun build with her. I've seen it before, but it's not really the most powerful gun build there is. Her damage output is very, like, not bad, but very low compared to other playable characters. So try to keep that in mind. I recommend getting some friends to play with this character if you enjoy her abilities, but it's completely up to you how you want to play her, of course. But yeah, that was Ivy. On to the next hero. Up next, we have Kelvin. It's kind of the opposite of Infernus. He freezes people rather than setting them on fire. Moving on to his abilities, we have Frost Grenade. Throw a grenade that explodes in a cloud of freezing ice, damaging and slowing enemies. Yeah, it's a pretty simple ability. It's not really the most special ability. You do have a lot of leeway of where you can throw it. You can even throw it all the way over there. And even, you see, he'll walk back into that. And it won't do anything because it goes away. Well, you get where I'm coming from. It's an explosive ability. It can help you kind of get people out of cover, deal a bit of damage to people that are behind cover. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty simple ability. It has charges to it, so you know you can keep using it over and over. And for his second ability, we have Ice Path. Kelvin creates a floating trail of ice and snow that gives movement bonuses to him and his allies. Kelvin gains 60% slow resistance for the duration. Enemies can also walk on the floating trail. Press left shift, left control to travel up and down while using the ice path.
Need to move.
So if you need to go up, you do that. You can even shoot while doing it, and then you can go down. And then of course, anybody who wants to use the ice path can use the ice path, and it'll stay there for actually a pretty long time before it goes away. There's actually like a little bit of a natural resistance to you falling off. If you try to like fall off of it, the game will push you back onto the ice trail, and it is actually pretty useful. Onto his third ability. Shoot freezing cold energy out in front of you, damaging targets and building up movement and firing slow against them. The longer you sustain the beam on them, you have reduced movement speed while using the Arctic beam. So it does this. It's a pretty solid ability. It slows them down and they shoot slower while you're, freezing them to death. So you can actually take less damage from this. A pretty solid support item, especially for the end game, because people will, be less likely to go and attack you up close because they're scared of getting frozen or even killed. So that's a pretty simple ability. And on to his ultimate. Kelvin freezes the air around him, creating an impenetrable dome around himself. While in the dome, allies rapidly regenerate health and enemies are slowed. This is a very, very, very cool, no pun intended, ability because it does keep people in a dome that they literally cannot get out of, so they are forced to fight with Kelvin. You gain massive regeneration and are pretty much unkillable if you are in this dome and you are on his team or are Kelvin himself. This usually will either end up getting the person that he traps in here with him killed, or, they'll get out, but they'll be limping in health. You can also use this to destroy enemy guardians. If you walk straight up to them, you can actually take free damage on them without needing to worry about getting attacked from around you because you can't shoot through this dome at all. So, definitely a really, really powerful ability, especially for finishing off certain people. Yeah, definitely a great character overall. I definitely recommend playing Kelvin, especially if you have a friend with you. Anyways, guys, on to the next hero. Up next, we have Lady Geist. Cool ass revolver, not gonna lie. And onto our first ability, Essence Bomb. Sacrifice some of your health to launch a bomb that deals damage after a brief arm time. Self-damage type is spirit and can be mitigated. You see?
Feel the agony.
There's 100 damage. You take a bit of damage. It's pretty solid overall because it takes some of your health at level 1. It does 100 damage, which is pretty ridiculous, especially at the start of the game. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty simple ability, nothing, too special about it, but yeah. Up next to her second ability, Life Drain. Create a tether that drains the enemy's health over time and heals you. A target must be in line of sight and within max range to drain. You can shoot and use other abilities during the drain, but your movement speed is reduced by half. Press 2 again to cancel. So let's go ahead and we're going to check that out. Half health, and then... yeah, it gives you some solid damage, health, and even does a pretty good chunk of damage.
I'm revitalized.
You see there, healed me for 67. 66. Yeah, it's not bad, not bad. It's pretty good, pretty good. Simple ability, easy to understand, especially if you're getting rushed down a lot. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Your third ability, Malice. Sacrifice some of your health to launch a blood shard that applies a stack of Malice. Each stack slows the victim and increases the damage they take from you. The slow effect decreases over time.
Soon you will suffer.
You can see there's the stack.
You will suffer.
Second stack.
Your time runs short.
Third stack.
Misery comes for you.
Fourth stack.
This is just the beginning.
Fifth stack. And that's all it goes. It's not the best ability. If you're good at aiming, it actually does work out for you in favor. You can also, mess people up pretty good with it. Pretty good. It's definitely one of her weaker abilities out there because the first two are pretty good. And for her ultimate, Soul Exchange. Swaps health levels with an enemy target. There is a minimum health percentage that enemies can be brought down to, and a minimum amount of health received based on the victim's current health. Enemy minimum health received 30%. So if you use this, it'll annihilate their health bar and swap healths with you pretty much, and whatever health you were at is the health they'll become at, and whatever health they were at is the health that you'll be at. So it is a very, very OP ability because you can literally kill anybody if you're about to lose. It is a free get out of jail free card. It is not even a joke. If you are about to die and you use this, you won't ever need to worry about it. You'll pretty much just kill whoever the hell you hit this with. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, that was Lady Guys. On to the next hero. Thanks, Lash. And this is Lash. 3-round burst weapon. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Alright, on to his abilities. Ability 1. Stomp the ground strike. Stomp the ground beneath you, damaging enemies in front of you. If you perform a ground strike while airborne, you quickly dive towards the ground. Damage grows slower after the 25 meters.
Dive strike.
See here?
Having fun yet? You want to mess with me? Let's dance, buddy. I'm about to show you why I'm the best. I can do this all day.
Yeah, it's just kind of a wide range ability that does some solid damage. It's just, you know, nothing special. It's kind of boring, not gonna lie. But, you know, if you need to clear a bunch of enemies out or just deal some damage real quick, hey, it works, right? And on to his second ability, Grapple. Pull yourself in through the air toward a target using Grapple. Also restores 1 stamina charge and all air jumps and dashes.
Here comes Flash. Here I come. You want to mess with the Lash? I'm coming, baby. Let's go. Start running. Try to run. I'm about to ruin your day. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of an ability that you would use to attempt to chase someone down if they're getting away and they're at low HP. It does its job fairly well. I've been killed by this a couple times. The thing is that this ability doesn't really do any damage, but it can help you finish someone off if they are low. Yeah, pretty solid. And on to the third ability. Blog. Strike enemies with your whip, stealing life from them.
They're not even trying.
No one's outlasting me. I got a little something for everybody.
Whipping them.
Oh my god. You thought you were making progress. You're not taking me down.
Come on.
A lot of his abilities are just kind of one-time use. Yeah, this character does not seem very fun. I'm not even gonna lie with you guys. But hey, this is just kind of a showcase. So yeah, his ability's pretty cool. And on to his ultimate. Focus on enemies to connect whips to them. After channeling, connected enemies are lifted and stunned, then slammed into the ground. Your victims and any enemies in the landing zone will be damaged and slowed. Press left click to throw connected enemies early. Enemies that are not in line of sight or go out of range during the latch time will not be grabbed.
Alright, I'm done playing with you.
You see there? And then he's too far away.
Grand finale.
Won't hit him. This also stuns people.
You're mine.
It will even put them in a bad spot. You can also use this to slam them.
You're outclassed.
You can bring them over there, put them in a rough position, throw them into a guardian and get them killed. Anything, so on, so forth. So yeah, pretty solid character. It also CCs people out of their ultimates if they're using it. Even Lash's own ultimate can be, well, countered by another ultimate. If a 7 is using his ultimate, you can lash them out of it. So yeah, let me go ahead and move him back over there. I can. Does its job, does its job. And yeah, that was Lash. On to the next hero.
I'm ready.
The next hero here is... Well, hold on. There we go. Jesus. The next hero here we have here is McGinnis. McGinnis is a setup type character. And her gun ramps up over time as you shoot. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And onto her abilities. Her first ability, Mini Turret. Deploy a mini turret that automatically shoots enemies. The turret expires after a limited lifetime. Turret gains 30% of McGinnis' max health and 60% spirit resistance. They deal reduced damage to troopers and objectives.
All right, buddy, give him hell.
So yeah, that's her turret ability. It's pretty cool, You can use it to deny areas, especially if you're trying to run away and you're in a bad spot. Kind of back away, like, oh man, I'm getting chased down, I'm throwing this down, and this person's on me, and then, you know, so on, so forth. Does its job. And up next for second ability, Medical Spectre. Or Medicinal Spectre. Deploy a spirit that heals nearby units. Pretty simple.
Who needs to be patched up?
There you go. Yep. Heals you for a while. You can see how much it has left in its little tube there. Then it goes away. Yeah, it's a very simple ability. All it does is just heal you in an area. It's you know, does its job. Useful for healing your allies. It's not a bad ability to start with. Yeah, it does its job. It's pretty cool. And on for her third ability, Spectral Wall. Creates a wall that divides the terrain in half. On creation, the wall deals damage and applies slow to enemies nearby. After casting, press left click or 3 to erupt the wall early.
Walls out.
See there?
Cutting them off.
Keep the wall in a good spot. Keeps them away from you. Deals damage even. You can also wall people off that are trying to get away, as you can see. Yeah, the wall is a very, very powerful ability because you can go ahead and remove sight lines from people and get away if you need to. You can also build backup behind it.
All right, buddy, give him hell.
You can see.
Don't let them outposition us.
It keeps you with your you know, your little space and lets you do what you need to do. It is a very powerful ability that is often overlooked by McGinnis players, but I definitely recommend you don't overlook this ability. Very, very good, very good. And up next is her Heavy Barrage, or her ultimate. Unleash a volley of rockets that home in on a targeted location.
I'm going high. Let's see him dodge this. I can't let the turrets have all the fun.
Pretty good ability. You can't use it up close to yourself. Like, as you can see here, if you try to use it, nothing will happen. Yeah, that's McGinnis. On to the next hero. And next hero, Moen Krill. That's their gun. And on to their first ability. Heal damage to nearby enemies and heal yourself based on the damage done. Heal is stronger against enemy heroes. Half health. Pop it. Heals you for about 120 damage. There you go. It's pretty good. It's actually a pretty solid heal, especially for the early game. For the second ability, Burrow. Burrow under the ground, moving faster and gaining spirit and bullet armor. Damage from enemy heroes will reduce the speed bonus. When you jump out, knock enemies into the air and perform a spin attack that deals damage and slows. Cooldown starts when Burrow ends. 112 damage, pretty solid. And on to the third ability, Sandblast. Spray sand that disarms enemies in front of you that deals damage.
Time to fight dirty.
Not bad, it's not bad if you can put yourself in a bad spot. Toss that at somebody and no, you can't be damaged anymore. It's pretty good. Now for their ultimate combo. Hold the target in place, stunning them and dealing damage. During the channel, if they die during your combo, you permanently gain max health. So yeah, it'll actually put them in a they can't like get out of this if you use this on somebody. It is pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie.
Take care of them, Maurice. You messed with the wrong team.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good ultimate overall because you can secure kills on people, or if someone's moving around a bunch and you can't really get them because they're slippery, if you use it on them, it'll completely stop them from moving. So yeah, it's a pretty good ultimate, and that was Bone Krill. On to the next hero. The next hero we have here is Paradox. Pretty cool hero. For the first, and next hero we have here is Paradox. Here's her gun. 5-round burst. Pretty good. And for her first ability, throw a grenade that begins pulsing when it lands. Each pulse applies damage, movement slow, and stacking damage amplification for Paradox against the victim.
Setting a bomb.
You can see there, it's pretty good damage. Pretty solid. Second ability, Time Wall. Create a time warping wall that stops time for all enemy projectiles and bullets that touch it. Enemies that touch the wall will take damage as a % of their max health and be briefly slowed.
Time wall.
100. Pretty good. And then anything that is shot at the shield will be slowed down and get destroyed. And for her third ability, Kinetic Carbine. Start charging your weapon and gain increased movement speed once it's fully charged. Your next shot will release energy, dealing spirit damage and applying a time stop to the enemy hit. The damage dealt is an amplification of your current weapon damage. You can slow time on yourself by pressing right click while an empowered shot is available.
Playtime. Story time. Time to make my move. Accelerating time. Speeding up.
Pretty cool. It's a solid ability for slowing people down. It's a kind of like a stun without the stun part. And on for her ability. Paradoxical Swap. Fire a projectile that swaps your position with the target enemy hero. While the effect occurs, you gain spirit lifesteal, and the enemy takes damage over time. It's pretty interesting. It just kind of swaps places between you and the target, and it doesn't really do that much damage, so it definitely isn't the most useful of the abilities. Obviously, the further away you are, the better it will be. So yeah, that was Paradox. On the next hero. And here, the next hero we have is Pocket. His gun. He's a shotgun-based character that a lot of people like playing. And on to his abilities. His first ability, Barrage. Channel to start launching projectiles that deal damage and apply movement slow around their impact point. Each projectile landed on a hero grants you a stacking buff that amplifies all of your damage. If you cast it while in the air, you'll float and maintain any horizontal momentum you started with.
You can't stop me. Letting out spirits. Spirits free.
Pretty solid. And on to his second ability, Flying Cloak. Launch a sentient cloak that travels forward and damages enemies. You can press 2 to teleport to its location.
Getting ready to teleport. Teleporting. I'll outthink them. They won't expect this. Pays to plan ahead.
And on to his ultimate, Affliction. Apply damage over time to all enemies nearby. Affliction's damage is non-lethal and does not apply item procs.
I'll bleed them out. We can outlast them. No more games.
Yeah, that was Pocket. On to the next hero. And the next hero we have here, 7. His gun. And on to his abilities. Lightning Ball. Shoot a ball of lightning that travels in a straight line. Does damage to all targets in its radius. Slows down when damaging enemies and stops if it hits the world. His second ability, Static Charge. Apply a charge to an enemy hero. After a short duration, the static charge stuns and damages enemies within the radius. His third ability, Power Surge. Power up your weapon with shock effect, making your bullets proc shock damage on your target. This shock damage bounces to enemies near your target. Occurs once per burst shot. On to his ultimate. Storm Cloud. Channel an expanding storm cloud around you that damages all enemies within its radius. Enemies do not take damage when they are out of line of sight. Yeah, that was 7. On to the next hero. Next up, we have a new hero, Shiv. He was just added the other day. Pretty cool, actually. His gun. On his ability? Serrated Knives. Throw a knife that damages and slows down an enemy. Each additional hit adds a stack and refreshes the debuff duration, causing the damage to increase per stack. Ultimate Unlock. While rage is full, knives will ricochet to another enemy and apply slow to the enemies they bleed.
Slow him down. Softening him up. Knife out.
His second ability. Slice and Dice. Perform a dash forward, damaging enemies along the path. Ultimate Unlock. While rage is full, an echo of Shiv retraces the dash. Oh my god. Ultimate Unlock. While rage is full, an echo of Shiv retraces the dash path after a short delay, damaging enemies again.
Cutting him up. Trying to keep up. Going in. Showtime. Slice and dice. Hit and run.
And on to his third ability. Bloodletting. Take only a portion of incoming damage immediately and defer the rest to be taken over time. Activate to clear a portion of deferred damage. No damage to clear.
Strike swiftly. I'll carve a path. No one stops me.
Jesus Christ, my dog just went nuts. Relax, Dozer. Yeah, that ability is kind of weird. I don't really know how it works. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just because I am not smart. So. And on to his fourth ability, Killing Blow. Activate to leap forward towards an enemy hero and instantly kill them if their HP is below a kill threshold. Otherwise, deal 200 damage to them. Passive. Damaging enemies fills you with rage. While at full rage, Shiv gains increased damage and special properties on his other abilities. Yeah, that's Shiv. On to the next hero. The next hero we have here is Vindicta. Her gun. Her first ability. Stake. Throw a stake that tethers enemies to the location where the stake lands. Enemy movement is restricted to the length of the tether.
Die on your feet. Stay put. No running. Binding them.
Her second ability. Fight. Leap into the air and fly. While in flight, your weapon deals bonus spirit damage.
I go where I want.
Her third ability. Crow Familiar. Your Crow Familiar deals impact damage and applies bleed that deals damage based on the target's current health.
I need my own opportunities. Fly true.
And for her ultimate, Assassinate. Use your scoped rifle to fire a powerful shot over long distances. Deal only partial damage until fully charged after 1 second of being scoped. Does bonus damage to enemies with less than 50% health remaining. Landing a killing blow on a player with Assassinate grants you a bonus souls.
There you are. I see you. Hello, friend. Taking the shot. Contact. It's a good day.
Yep, that was Vindicta. Here we have Viscous. His gun. His first ability. Splatter. Throw a ball of goo that deals damage and leaves puddles of goo behind that apply movement slow to enemies in the radius. Goo puddles linger on the ground and apply movement slow to enemies walking on them.
Sending goo ball. Firing protoplasm. Throwing goo. Launching goo. Expelling goo.
His second ability, the Cube. Encase the target in a cube of restorative goo that purges debuffs, protects from damage, and increases health regen. Target is unable to take any new actions while cubed. Can be used on self. Press space to escape early.
Whew, I needed this. Healing. This is relaxing.
And for his ultimate, Goo Ball. Morph into a large goo ball that deals damage and stuns enemies on hit impact. The ball grants large amounts of bullet and spirit resistance, bounce off walls, and can double jump.
I'd hide if I were you.
Yeah. That's Viscous. Then, next hero. Warden. His gun. His first ability. Alchemical Flask. Throw a flask that damages, slows, and reduces the weapon damage and stamina of enemies it hits.
We won't falter. Throwing flask. Catch. I won't yield. Defeat me if you can. Defeat me if you can.
Second ability. Gain Willpower. Gain a Spirit Shield and bonus movement seal.
Charge. I'm invigorated. I don't fear death.
His third ability, Binding Word. Curse an enemy hero. If they don't move away from their initial position within the escape time, they will be damaged and immobilized.
You have no place to go. Face me and die. There's nowhere to hide.
And for his ultimate, Last Stand. After charging for 2.2 seconds, release pulses that damage enemies and heals you based on the damage done.
This is my moment. This will end one way or another. Face me and die. Strike them down. Time for glory. Victory. For the cause. I'll take on all of you. We won't falter. Strike them down. For the cause.
Yeah, that's Warden. Next hero. And here's this hero's. And Wraith. Ergon. Her first ability, Card Trick. Deal weapon damage to summoned cards. Activate to throw a card that flies towards the enemy or point under your crosshair.
I love this trick. Steal. Cards out.
Her second ability, Project Mine. Teleport to a targeted location.
Now you see me. Repositioning. I'm out of here. Vanishing. I'm not getting caught.
Her third ability, Full Auto. Temporarily boost your fire rate. Nearby allies receive half the fire rate bonus.
Don't let up. Light 'em up. Don't stop firing. This is gonna be fun. Attack. Tear 'em apart.
And her fourth ability, Ultimate Telekinesis. Lift an enemy hero into the air, stunning them for a short time. When lift ends, the target receives telekinesis damage.
Lift it. Yeah, I don't think so. Lifting. And up they go. I got him.
Yeah, that's Wraith. On to the next hero. Yamoto. Her weapon. Her first ability, Power Slash. Channel to increase damage over time, 1.5 seconds. Then release a fully charged sword strike. Press 1 or left mouse button to trigger the strike either early, dealing partial damage.
あなたには私を止めることはできません。打ち倒してある。あなたの人生は私のものです。あなたは私を決して殺さないでしょう。
Your second ability, Flying Strike. Throw a grappling hook to reel yourself towards an enemy, damaging and slowing the target when you arrive.
逃げられやしないよ。前を詰めよう。仲良くしようか。
Our third ability, Crimson Slash. Slash enemies in front of you, damaging them and slowing their firing. If any enemy heroes are hit, you heal.
シンクの突撃。こっちを見ろ。死ね。剣を見せよう。ここでは死なないよ。
Our fourth ability, Ultimate. Shadow Transformation. Become infused with Yamamoto's soul. After an initial invincible transformation, your abilities are refreshed and are 60% faster. Your weapon has infinite ammo and you gain damage resistance and immunity to negative status effects. You are unable to die whilst in this mode.
私は真の支配者。死は始まりでしかない。死ね。容赦はしません。そしてあなたは私を止められると思ったのですか。彼らには一切の猶予も与えない。死ね。
And that was every single hero in DeadLock. Sorry for not really explaining every single one of the heroes. I only explained the ones that I've played or know a decent amount about so far. I only have like 20 hours in this game. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, guys, if you hated this video, please make sure you dislike it and leave a comment down below how I could improve. I really do appreciate the criticism. And thank you guys all so much for the support. And I'll see you next time.